Hi guys, Zach here with another Command and Conquer Red Alert video. In this game, I'm playing a 3v3 match on the map Potholes. My team is starting in the north and the opposing team is starting in the south. Now what you can see I've done at the start is I moved my MCV down a little bit. And that's because I'm starting in the top left where there are 3 big ore patches. And I've just wanted to move my MCV so it's a little bit more central so I can make sure I use those all 3 ore patches early on and I don't have to expand my base too much in either direction. And what I'm doing first of all is I'm sending my infantry south and because I want to get as much scouting there as possible, and also my teammates to the right of me, so my enemies are to the south. So I want to stop them from getting into my base early on and doing any scouting of their own. So you can just see I'm leaving infantry at all those bottlenecks where the infantry are going to have to pass through. Now the way the map Potholes is laid out is there's lots of little areas in the map, and to get from one area to the other area there's lots of little bottlenecks. And what you really want to be doing as a team is you want to make sure you secure as much of the map as possible. And that just gives you more access to ore, and the more ore you have the more you can spend on units, and that's going to put you in a much better position. So we're going to be really wanting to take as much control, and Matthew's just asking what Green is doing, and as you can see Green has moved his MCV from his starting point and he's heading over to Matthew's base. Now some people I think this is a good thing because I mean, if you're in your ally's base, if you've got your ally right next to you, it's a lot easier to defend. But it really doesn't give you that much benefit the further you go on, because what happens is you and your teammate are then having to use the same resources, and that's much less. You're also giving up map control, and now our opponents are going to be able to use that part of the map that Green has moved them, so it's not too good. As you can see, Witty, yellow, has just got into my base there. I didn't put any infantry to the right because I thought that Green was setting up there, his base. So yeah, he's got a little bit of, we've got a little bit of information on my layout now. You can see that now I've expanded to the second ore patch to the right, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to distribute my ore trucks between the different ore patches. The reason I'm doing that is it just makes the ore last longer. If you have them all on one ore patch, then they're going to use it up pretty quickly, and then you're going to have to expand to other ore patches, which is you're going to lose a little bit of time travelling. You can see Green's now set up right in the corner. He's going to be quite away from the ore when he sets up his ore refineries. But you can see, because Green has spent all that time travelling, when I looked at his base, he only had a single power plant. And that's what happened, and I've got tanks now. And that's what happens when you spend a long time. It just wastes a lot of time at the start. And the other teams will have been able to get a big advantage over that. And I'm just trying to get a bit of information on my opponent's base. So you can see I'm going through sort of like the back door in a way. And that's another reason it's important to get an important part of this south part. So I'm just going to have a look down into my opponent's base there. I'm going to build my second war factory now. And you can see what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a small power plant. And what I'm doing is I'm expanding over that little gap so I can use that ore patch below in the compartment below. I have got an ore patch to the top of me, but it's always better to expand downwards at the moment because I want to deny my opponents being able to use this ore patch here. And you can see I'm just moving some tanks down into that position as well. You can see Matthew's doing quite well at the moment. He's got quite a few tanks, although he's going to have a bit of trouble later on because he's trying to share resources at the moment.
Yes, sir. Acknowledged.
And it's all been pretty quiet so far. There's been no early attacks.
On hold. Cancel.
And you can see I'm just building another ore truck because I'm going to be making use of this third ore patch now, which will give me 6. And you can see there's Happy Believer. He's building light tanks, I'm building mediums. Light tanks have a lot of mobility, but on this map I think it doesn't. I'm not sure I would use them on this map because there's a lot of bottlenecks, so it really hampers the mobility of the light tanks. I think light tanks are great on open maps like Arena Valley Extreme, but on this map I like to use a bit more bulky tanks like the right, and you can see the Matthew's trying to get down into the right, but I think that's Oxidizer there in the red, he's doing a good job of blocking it. You can see all of them have got the bottlenecks covered. And as I said, that team, they have got good players. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in sort of the back door. Because you can see the yellow's base, they've defending the bottleneck to the right. Well, this sort of backdooring is usually overlooked because it's very, very small. And you can see I've got into Witty's base. So this is a bit sneaky here. But I've managed to get in. And I'm going to try and destroy the main buildings here. And you can see he saw me now, but the thing is, all my tanks are into the base. And this is looking very, very good. So I should have this, be able to get this second ore refinery. And it's going to depend, really. Does he have any more? Well, he has a service depot, so he can build another MCD. So that's... the question is, does he have the money to, though? You can see I'm doing well on ore, but we don't know how Witty's doing on ore. And you can see Happy Believer's coming in now. And I'm just doing as much damage as I can to his base and putting him as back behind as much as possible. The thing is, he has a lot to sell as well, so he could sell some of those things to get more ore if he needs to. Right, so that's been quite successful actually. And we can see that we've got Red's base here as well, Oxidizer. Hopefully this will distract him, but you can see Yellow's hunting me down with his tanks at the moment. So that's, yeah, not going to work. I don't think Oxidizer had seen me there. So yeah, it was a shame, but his teammates were right on behind him. So we've done a bit of damage to Yellow's base. We'll have to see if he can recover from that. And you can see I've got quite a few tanks still. And I'm just going to have to defend this compartment. Right, you can see that Pink's there. And you can see it's really, really hard to get through this. Like, there's a bottleneck here. It's going to be really hard to break through. I don't. But the longer I leave it, probably the harder it's going to be. And you can see there's two bottlenecks. There's one there and one a bit to the left. And I'm just building another. So I've got 3 war factories at the moment. And I'm just building up to the top right because there's going to be another ore patch there. The Allies aren't so good in getting through these bottlenecks, but as the Soviets, they can do quite well. Like, Allies, you have the advantage because you can build ships if you get to the middle water. But as the Soviets, what you can do is you can build Tesla coils right near the gaps and they can help quite a bit. So you can see I'm having a fight with Happy Believer. I've made the gamble, I've tried to go through the gap. And we can see it's probably not working out too well for me. The other guy's got turrets. We're about I mean, he's got just slightly better numbers, and also he's close to my base, and I think I'm going to have to pull back here. So that's maybe not been as successful as I'd hoped.
Silos needed. Unit ready. Building.
Yes, sir. Affirmative.
Unit.
And you can see that Yellow's there, but it's quite interesting because it doesn't look like Yellow have built up at all again, so maybe they don't have the inflow of ore that they need.
Unit ready. Building.
But they might, I do have to be aware because they might go through that side to attack me.
Unit ready. Building. Construction complete. Unit
Yeah, and
ready.
what you can see as I'm just building downwards a bit, I'm going to just build some turrets and some defences around that bottleneck. I could also try and expand through using base defences, although it might be very hard. It's a bit easy with Soviets, as I said, because they have Tesla coils. The Allied defences don't tend to be as good.
Construction
We certainly don't have anything to match the Tesla coil. And you can see that Pink have actually gone through the other way. That was a bit careless from me there. But they don't have enough tanks, so I'm going to be fine here. I'm going to get a very good trade here. I'm not going to lose much. And they're coming through the south as well. But because they've only attacked a few tanks at a time, I'm getting a very, very good trade here. Just getting some more tanks built. I think I've actually made a mistake. It's actually on, what's it called, aftermath units on. I didn't need to have wasted a bit of money on building extra war factories. Never mind. Right, so, yeah, you can see Happy Believer's got quite a lot here. And that first attack left me a bit short on tanks, because obviously you don't get as good trade when you go through the gap. I should be okay here though. You can see that Happy Believer's transitioned onto medium tanks as well, which I think is the better tank on this map. And we're just going to survive. That's quite a close call actually. You can see I've just got a few tanks left. I've also got those pillboxes to help me, so those base defences really paying off there.
Building. Construction complete.
Just gives you that little bit of an edge when you've got those pillboxes there that are constantly firing on their tanks. And they've got turrets on the other side, but I think at the moment it shows I'm in no position to actually attack. And you can see that green is building up as well, but you can see the resources around their base is very, very scarce at the moment. And you can see Matthew's done a great job. He's got an MCV and he's brought it down south so he can use the ore resources down there. So that's really good at the moment. And yeah, I think actually yellow is knocked out completely because he still hasn't built up at all. Right, he's got his ore truck on that service depot. I don't know why exactly, but what I would have thought he'd be doing is if he'd possibly be able to sell some of that stuff and get enough money to buy something else. Right, so what I'm doing now is I'm just bringing these tanks through here. You can see he's still got some tanks, so I might just try and I'll need to destroy these in case he does a sneak attack at any other time. So just get rid of these few tanks because it could be they could prove crucial if I'm attacking Happy Believer and he takes those tanks into my base. They could cause quite a bit of damage. And you can see Happy Believer's used this chance to try and attack me, but I only took a few tanks around that area, so this is going to pay off quite a bit. And I think this is going to be quite good for me because it's going to weaken Happy Believer's force quite a bit. Because he's not only is he going through a bottleneck, he's going against my base defences, and I'm using this opportunity to take those tanks that I was attacking yellow with into his base. So I've sort of gone through the back door again. So I went through the back of yellow's base, and now I've gone back through the back door into Pink's base, into Happy Believer's base, and this is proving very good for me. I don't know if I think he's realised now what's happening, and I'm just trying to destroy the ore refineries, the main buildings, and you can see those turrets are in a real effective position there, and I've lost a little bit there. I managed to destroy that construction yard. And you can see this is looking very, very good for me at the moment. This area is a very important area because it has got 3 big ore patches in. And it does look like I've got the upper hand at the moment. I think Happy Believer made a big mistake there attacking me because he did lose a lot of tanks in that attack. And that gave me the opportunity to counter and send some tanks in through the back way. So that's worked really, really well. And I think this is going to probably be the game changer at the moment. Because there is not our opponent's not going to have much map control if they lose this area. He's just got his base down to the south, and that's only got 1 ore patch in that area he starts in, so that's very effective for me. And I'm getting some really important buildings. I'm going to get the radar dome there. Yeah, and he's calling a good game there. And since yellow are out, it looks like Oxidizer's going to be the one left after this And if we look on the radar dome, we can see the Matthew's also expanded to the middle section. He's also got an MCV there, it looks like, because we can see some base buildings. So he's done a really good job of securing the middle and part of the right side of the map. So he's doing a good job there. It still seems like it's a bit of a stalemate though with red. And we're probably going to need to go through yellow's side. But once we destroy this, there's going to be almost 3 routes into red's base, so that's going to be absolutely fine. And we can see that he's out, Happy Believer. So now it's just red, and you can see the left side of his base is absolutely undefended. So we're just going to be able to blast through this. And he's got some tanks, he's brought some tanks this side. I do think he's probably going to be running low on ore, possibly. Although we can see there is a bit of ore. And we can see that yellow's coming in with the Tesla tank. I'm pretty sure that wasn't there earlier. I'm surprised if he had enough money to buy a Tesla, then surely he should have been able to buy MCV. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to get rid of the information centre. That'll give Red no visibility. And it's just a case of going through the base right now. I think the big thing about this map, as I say, with this map, I think it's about getting control. And I think the big bonus was getting Yellow out early. And because Yellow would have had a lot of control over the middle of the map, they could have expanded an MCV right above them, and that would have put our team in a very hard position, because Yellow would have been able to help whoever needed it. They would have been able to go to the left. They would have even been able to go to the right. So it was very early on. That was a very good choice. And you can see Red's coming in full force here. It looks like they have got good tanks, and I might not be able to actually win this fight here. So they're doing a good job here. It looks like they've got a mix of light tanks and medium tanks. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to target down the light tanks first, because the light tanks do about the same damage as the medium tank, but they do have a lot less HP. So now I go on to the medium tanks, which have a lot more HP, but they just do the same damage. I think there's actually one light tank there left. And you can see that my teammate Matthew's coming in for the fight now as well. So it's just a case of... And there's nothing Oxidizer can do in this position. He's just outnumbered at the moment. I mean, he did quite a good job. He did exactly the right thing. He expanded to the right. And when I start in that position where he did, I always try and expand to the right and get control of that compartment, which he did. But once you lose your teammates to the right and on top of you, it's very hard. And now he's selling up. Yeah, this just looks like there's that ore silo left. Oh, and a couple of things there. And you can see Oxidizer, Matthew's now coming in from the top as well. And it looks like Green's coming in as well, and he's got some Tesla tanks. You can see the firing on there. Actually, he's got 2 information centres. I think he must have made an extra one just in case he lost his one to the left. And that's the game over. Right, hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.